Hi, I'm Cecil Maranville, and you're listening to Verse by Verse. Have you ever thought about how you should pray? Today we will look at a few verses from a psalm, a prayer itself, which teach us a lot about how to pray. That psalm is the 5th, and the verses we'll look at are verses 1 through 3. Give ear to my words, O Lord, consider my meditation. Give heed to the voice of my cry, my King and my God, for to you I will pray. My voice you shall hear in the morning, O Lord. In the morning I will direct it to you, and I will look up. Not all prayers are the same. Did you know that Jesus cautioned his disciples that some prayers might be totally ineffective? How could that be? Christ put memorized recitations in that category, calling them something that heathens practice. Heathens is a curious word in reference to prayer, for we likely think of heathens as godless people, people who aren't praying at all. But Jesus was referring to people who practiced religion, albeit ineffectively. You will find his words in Matthew chapter 6, just before an outline or model for prayer that he gave to his disciples. Christ was plainly warning his followers that prayer could be a wasted exercise even for them. A Pew Research Center survey in 2023 and 2024 found that 24% of adults who identify as Christians seldom or never pray. Doesn't that seem strange? Christians who seldom or never pray, they certainly aren't following Jesus' instructions. Another Pew Research Center survey found that 55% of all adults who identify as Christians do pray every day. But do their prayers truly make contact with God? What about your prayers and mine? Psalm 5 teaches us about effective prayer. The psalmist says, "Give ear, give heed, my voice you shall hear. I will direct it to you, and I will look up." These words show how committed the psalmist, King David, was to praying. They also show that he believed God was listening. You may recall a humorous advertisement for a certain cell phone company that featured a person repeatedly asking, "Can you hear me now?" It was a clever way to emphasize the unreliability of some cell phone providers. David's emphatic language in the psalm indicates that he was confident God could hear him. The psalm echoes Hebrews 11, verse 6. He who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. David called God my King and my God, which demonstrates that the psalmist had a clear idea of who God is. God was very real to him. Twice in Psalm 5, David said that he would pray in the morning, implying that praying to God was a high priority for David. In the morning, he would be alert and clear-minded. That may be true at a different time of day for you, but the underlying lesson applies. Place a high priority on praying and do it with a clear mind. Lastly, David appealed to God to hear his words and his meditation. That indicates he thought in advance about what he should pray. Undoubtedly, additional thoughts came spontaneously to mind as he prayed, and he added to his original thoughts. The lesson is, he didn't just mindlessly rattle off a prayer. He regarded praying as important, highly valued communication with his Creator, and he made the most of that special time. To help you make the most of your prayers, we would like you to have our article, How to Pray. There is a link in the show notes.
Verse by Verse is a Life, Hope, and Truth podcast. Check out the show notes to find more free content, like videos, articles, and booklets in our Learning Center.